Welcome to the video. I'm back with some more UFC from across the world. Brock Lesnar, Mark Hunt. Brock Lesnar is 5-3. He has one submission of the night. He always comes in shape. He has great size. He's awesome at wrestling. He has a great ability, high athleticism. We all know that he's one of the biggest men we've ever seen, one of the strongest men we've ever seen. He's 6'3". He has exceptional leg reach and arm reach. Brock Lesnar has defeated some big names in his career. He's attempted 221 strikes, successfully landed 162 out of 221, which gives him a 75% rating at landing strikes. He's attempted 20 takedowns and has successfully made 11 out of 20, which gives him about a 55% rating. In grappling, and has successfully taken his opponents down. Out of those 162 strikes, he's landed 111 on the ground. Okay? So imagine about 24 standing, about 25, 27 in a clinch, and 111 on the ground. This tells you a lot about how Brock Lesnar scores his points and how Brock Lesnar wins his fights. In grappling, he's avoided 60% of takedowns attempted against him. He's avoided 2 submissions, 14 passes, and no Cs have been attempted against him yet. Brock Lesnar has defeated on his record Frank Mir, Min So Kim, and also Randy Couture. Lesnar is a beast. He's a monster. We all know how dangerous he is and how effective he can be in the style and the manner that he approaches his opponent. Mark Hunt, on the other hand, is a heavy hitter, a powerful man when it comes to striking. He's a ranked number 8 heavyweight in the world. He has 2 performances of the night, 2 fights of the night, 2 knockouts of the night. He's nicknamed the Super Samoan. He's 12-10, 1 loss, and he has a lot of resilience, ability to adapt, power. And I mean, when I say power, his striking power is devastating. He's 42 years old, 5'10", 72 reach, 43 leg reach. Mark Hunt's record is composed of superb fighters. He's fought nothing but the best of the best. He successfully landed 347 strikes out of 778, which gives him about 45% to 50% rating at landing strikes. He's also attempted 13 takedowns and landed 7, which gives him a 55% rating at landing takedowns or successfully taking his opponent down, which is good grappling for Mark Hunt. Out of those 347 strikes that he's landed, 294 while standing, 85 to 90% of them were while standing. So he does not have any fear in exchanging against his opponent while standing. His stand-up game is awesome. He's avoided 53% of strikes attempted against him. He has good defense for a guy who throws a lot of volume, who throws a high volume of punches and high volume power punches. That is good defense. 69% of takedowns attempted against him, he's avoided. He is a heavy man and he knows how to use his weight. He's very strong and he knows how to maintain his position. An awesome fighter, for sure. He's avoided 1 sweep, 8 passes, and 1 submission. He's defeated Frank Mir, Antonio Silva. Mark Hunt is a dangerous man. Stefan Struve, Ben Rothwell. Oh man, he's a great guy. Vanderlei Silva. Mark Hunt is a heavy hitter, and these are some of the key things that Brock Lesnar needs to avoid when he's fighting Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt record speaks for itself. Okay, he's a very dangerous fighter. He has a kickboxing style. He's a kickboxer, and he was a dangerous kickboxer. He's been active since 1998 in boxing to 2000, and then kickboxing from 99 to 2008, and then mixed martial arts 2004 until today, still fighting in mixed martial arts. His kickboxing record, out of 43 fights, he won 30. His mixed martial arts record, He's won 12 wins out of 23, but he's fought nothing but the top competition his whole career. Okay, his whole career. Brock Lesnar needs to avoid his heavy shots. Mark Hunt still can high kick. I know you haven't seen it for a while, but he still can. He still can head kick. He has a lot of devastating strikes that he likes to land with his hand. Elbow strikes, knee strikes, spinning elbow strikes, uppercuts. He's very, very aggressive and very, very critical with his strikes. He knows when to throw it. For sure, Brock Lesnar needs to be able to avoid this. Get Hunt to the ground and land his great ground pound, and be aware that even on the ground, Hunt can still knock him out with a shot. Use some good defense when he's approaching him. Definitely one of the things that Brock Lesnar needs to do is have some great defense, because in one way, Brock Lesnar is Mark Hunt's kryptonite, and Mark Hunt is Brock Lesnar's kryptonite. That's what makes this fight so amazing, is that Brock needs to avoid Mark Hunt's power, but Hunt needs to avoid Brock Lesnar's ability to take him down. As we know in the stats that I said earlier, that Brock Lesnar, out of 20 takedowns he's landed, he's successfully made 11. And he's known for taking people down, and he's known for the ground pound. Out of 162 strikes that he's landed, 111 were on the ground. He can strike. He likes to take his man down, though, first. Don't get me wrong. He is a guy that is 50% taking people down. However, the rest of his game is striking, and he can go for the submission. He's strong. He's very strong. He submitted Shane Carwin in the second round, and that was a good submission. And that's when the world knew that Brock Lesnar was not just about taking you down and landing the ground and pound on you. He was also about submitting his opponent and applying pressure in many different aspects. He utilized the arm triangle choke, which was very good, and I was very surprised. That's what he defended his UFC Heavyweight Championship title that night, and he did it in style, for sure. Hunt needs to be aware of this. Brock Lesnar can come in and he can land strikes. He can take you down, and he's not just going for the ground pound. He does have the ability to submit you. So these are the things that both fighters need to avoid. Now let's get down to the prediction. Brock Lesnar, his record speaks for itself. However, a man as big as he is can lose some timing when it comes to mixed martial arts. And this is the issue when it comes to picking Brock Lesnar in this fight. I cannot pick Brock Lesnar due to the fact that he's been active in the UFC for some time, and his timing is off. When you're fighting a striker, you need to have good timing. This is how you counter a striker. And Mark Hunt has a lot of quickness. He has accuracy and power. So quickness, accuracy, and power means that he could do some damage, when the opening comes. But with that quickness and that power, he can create an opening with that power by breaking someone's defense, or someone being afraid of that power, and he can parry. They could fake a shot, and they would try to parry, and he can counter. There's many ways that Mark Hunt can be elusive and dangerous in this fight. I see Brock Lesnar having a lot of trouble trying to defend against Mark Hunt. And when he starts to defend against Hunt, he'll feel Hunt's power and Hunt's ability to break through his defense. And I feel that this fight will end up being bloody. Will end up being very bloody due to the fact that there will be a lot of shots thrown. We've seen in previous fight with Brock Lesnar that he will go to war. He will bang it out. He does have a chin that's hard enough. Even though in the heavyweight division, anybody can get hit big. Anybody can be knocked out because it's heavy shots from heavyweights. But Brock can take a shot. So can Mark Hunt. So I expect this to be a bloodbath. 3 rounds. a bloodbath, maybe 3 rounds, 2 rounds. It will not go the full 5. If I believe if it's scheduled for 5, I believe it's scheduled for 5. It will not go the full 5. However, for sure, it will definitely go 3 rounds, and Mark Hunt will defeat Brock Lesnar due to stamina issues. Lesnar will tire out. Lesnar's timing will be off. He will have a great first round against Mark Hunt. I believe the first round will be great against those two. Those two will be banging it out. Probably won't knock each other out because it'll end up being a wrestling match. It will end up being a wrestling. I know in the beginning, Brock is going to want to bang, so is Mark. But when Brock realizes that Mark Hunt can hit hard, he's probably going to get shook a little bit. And we all know Lesnar can get rattled and still come back. We've seen it in previous fights. So Hunt's going to rattle him, and Lesnar's going to go on a defensive and offensive and do what he does best, charge in and go for the takedown. Hunt won't be so easily taken down, and on the ground, we all know Mark Hunt has a good ground game, and he'll be able to defend himself against a guy like Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar being big is a good thing because Hunt is also big, so they'll be able to adapt to each other easily in this type of atmosphere. To me, when it comes to the second and third round, and it could happen in a second. I believe it could happen in a second because Mark Hunt doesn't like to wait. He likes to finish his opponent quickly. And if he doesn't, he's still going for the KO, but he likes to finish his opponent quickly. He's more experienced now. He knows how to land his shots. He knows how to throw them way better than he's ever thrown them before. Mark Hunt is way more powerful, way more stronger than the opponents that Brock Lesnar lost to, like Cain Velasquez. I believe Mark Hunt hits harder than Cain Velasquez, much harder. And Velasquez KO'd Brock Lesnar. I also believe that Alistair Overeem doesn't hit as hard as Mark Hunt. So, with that being said, Mark Hunt, third round KO, a right then a left, or I think it's a right then a left, or a left and a right elbow, which we haven't seen from Hunt for a little while, but be a KO. Then we have the ground pound, so Mark Hunt will finish him that way with a ground pound, and it'll be all over. Who do you want to see win between Mark Hunt and Brock Lesnar? Let me know in the comments below. Do you believe that my predictions will be correct, that Mark Hunt will defeat Brock Lesnar in the second round, or at the beginning at the beginning of the third round? It's the latest I'll give it, the beginning of the third round. Or will Brock Lesnar spear, plow right through Mark Hunt and let the world know that he's back in the UFC? Or will Mark Hunt hunt Brock Lesnar down and destroy him? Until next time, thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.